Each month, Polish Pickup brings together dozens of incredible indie makers, each sharing their own unique interpretations of a common theme. Hello, this is Lacquerography, and rather than trying to show everything, I love taking the time to slow down and explore the polishes that genuinely captured my attention. Today I'll be sharing the colors, finishes, and stories that stood out to me, along with the personal connections and collection thoughts they inspired. Whether or not they ultimately make it into my cart, these are the polishes that invited me to pause, look a little closer, and imagine the place they might someday hold within my collection. So let's open this month's catalog for Polish Pickup August 2026. The theme this month is Woodland Magic, and let's begin exploring together. The first item that caught my eye is by Alchemy Lacquers, and this one is called Crown Shyness. This polish was inspired by an image of autumn trees showing the natural phenomenon called crown shyness, where the uppermost branches avoid touching, creating gaps that look like puzzle pieces. Crown Shyness is a turquoise jelly nail lacquer with pink to orange to gold to green shifting iridescent shimmer and fine particle silver magnetic shimmer. There is a cap of 500. So what that means is that in this case, the maker, Alchemy Lacquers, is committing to creating 500 of these polishes, and then after that, this polish is likely considered sold out. It was this beautiful, mesmerizing, shimmery blue, this magnetic effect that had me click into this polish. I think this magnetic effect is spectacular. I love that you can see that beautiful turquoise, and then you've got the moody blues, the contrasting pink that you're seeing here with that shifting iridescent shimmer. It also shifts to many other colors as well, and you can see that a little bit more here in the bottle shot. It's quite striking. Really, the variation in these blues, contrasting with that shimmer, is so much of what drew me in to begin with. I find this polish absolutely mesmerizing, and I think it's showcased so beautifully here using the cat eye style magnetic effect. I connect with this polish in a few different ways. First of all, as I was reading the description for this polish, I think this polish name, Crown Shyness, is so evocative of this wonderful phenomenon. The idea of the uppermost branches of trees avoiding touching, creating these gaps that look like puzzle pieces. Nature really is marvelous and miraculous that way. And I love how these makers take these inspirations and turn it into something so abstract, represented by nail polish. Like it's really quite astounding to me. And such beautiful imagery, and it's echoed by this beautiful polish. Also, there's something about this polish that makes me think of water. Yes, skies, absolutely, skies and branches and lighting effects coming through the trees, but also water for me. I grew up lifeguarding and teaching swimming, and there's something so aquatic about what I'm seeing here from this polish as well. First of all, this polish is gorgeous. It's got these wonderful components that are creating these glorious effects on the nails. This polish is also stirring something up within me. I love the imagery that the maker is going for, but also I'm kind of creating my own visuals to go along with it, reminding me of sky or also aquatic references. So much of this polish is appealing to me. We're off to a wonderful start this month. This polish is by Alchemy Lacquers, Crown Shyness. This next polish up is by Broken Pixel Polish, and this one is called Bitter Bloom. This polish is described as having a black base packed with scattered hollow, pink orange gold shifting shimmer, and pink orange gold iridescent flakes. This one was inspired by the Bitter Bloom Bearer Borderless Alternate Art Magic the Gathering card. There is a cap for this polish of only 350 being made available. It's the fall colors here that have really drawn me in. I actually find it really interesting that in the description, it's called a black base. At first, my eye wasn't picking that up. I think it's because of all those incredible components in here. My eye was picking up something more brown leaning, but that's gotta be the hollow, the pink, orange, gold shifting shimmer, and those iridescent flakes as well. Those are three components that would absolutely turn black into something far more magical. Now, interestingly enough for me, I love the name Bitter Bloom, but The maker's reference here doesn't really mean anything to me. I'm not exactly sure what that reference point is. If you happen to know what this is, please feel free to explain it in the comments. I'd love to learn a little bit more about what kind of beautiful imagery has inspired this polish. But it really is just these fall foresty vibes that have grabbed my attention. Another thing that impressed me right at first click was just how beautiful this polish looks on all different swatchers with all different skin tones. I mean, here in this swatch collage, we've got 4 very different swatchers, and this is a really flattering polish. It looks outstanding on everyone. I find that here, what I'm noticing most is probably that iridescent shimmer. I'm seeing that at the swatcher's nail tips, we're seeing something that looks a lot more red, almost like burgundy. And then as you go closer to the swatch's cuticles, I'm really seeing that gold effect. It's such a lovely fall spectrum of colors. We've got what looks like quite bright lighting happening here. I have the feeling that the hollow, the shifting shimmer, and the iridescent flakes would absolutely dance in the sunlight. Oh, the shifts on this swatcher's nails and also on the bottle shot. I mean, this polish is really undeniable in terms of how beautiful this one is with all the fall vibes. If I purchase this polish, I could see myself racing to get it on my nails this fall. To me, this is October and November in a bottle. This shifty polish is by Broken Pixel Polish Bitter Bloom. This next polish that caught my eye has such a different look than that last one. This one is by Cadillacquer Side by Side. The maker says here in the description that this polish was inspired by walks with my dogs through snowy woodlands. A clear base packed with blue and turquoise microflakes, blue shimmer, and red and copper reflective glitter. There is an availability cap for this polish of only 600. It was the shifts and the sparkle that caught my eye with this polish, so I wasn't surprised to click in, read the description, and see that, first of all, part of the inspiration was snowy woodlands. I definitely see an iciness happening here, but also the fact that there is the component of reflective glitter that's added to this polish. In fact, here it is red and copper reflective glitter, so an interesting mix. For me, reflective glitter remains a favorite component of polish. It creates this undeniable sparkle. I know for some people, they love playing around with reflective glitter in flash photography. For me, that kind of effect really has no bearing. I just love the way reflective glitter plays in any kind of lighting. You catch little glints indoors. The sun absolutely creates magic when you're outdoors. I just love it. So anytime I see a little bit of a sparkle and I see that reflective glitter has been added, that's a good thing for me. It's that sparkle, there's an iciness, but also interestingly enough, I feel quite a warmth when I look at this polish as well. I almost view this one as not just a wintry type of polish, a wintry forest scene, but I almost view this one as an any time of year kind of polish. In springtime, it would have a freshness. In the summertime, the play that the reflective glitter would have with the light would be something else. In fall, too, I think there's a bit of a crispness happening here. And of course, the iciness that you see with the snowy woodland inspiration. That one's quite obvious. But really, for me, I could see myself wearing this one any season of the year. It's just beautiful. At this point in my life, I am not a dog owner, so this inspiration of taking my dog for a walk through snowy woodlands is not a reality for me right now. It does bring back some memories from my childhood, though. We did have a dog when I was quite young, and I can remember those wintertime walks quite vividly. I am a Canadian as well, so wintertime walks are very much a part of our yearly reality. Winter is a very significant season in my part of the world, and being able to wear a polish this beautiful in that season would just be incredible. This beautiful sparkly polish is by Cadillacquer Side by Side. This next polish up is by Cleona Cosmetics, and this one is called Fairy Circle. This polish was inspired by the naturally occurring phenomenon of the same name. A fairy circle is a ring formation of mushrooms that is caused by the underground network of fungal threads expanding outwards in a circular pattern, often associated with magic, fairies, and folklore. This polish is described as having a muted forest green base with a smooth mushroom grayish magnetic pull. There is a cap for this polish as well, of only 490 being made available. Now, I can't exactly be sure, but it looks to my eye like this is a very fine magnetic pigment happening here. It's got that molten metal kind of look to me. And that was really what drew me in. It's that effect, and it's got this moodiness. I see that grayish green kind of effect, and that's one that I love. Green is one of my favorite colors in life, and I also find that any color that has a grayed out aspect instantly makes it more of an all-season type polish for me. I truly could see this polish being quite an all-season polish in my life. Not only that, but also a colorway like this, I could see myself wearing this for almost any type of occasion. Much like for an earlier polish, this is my first time hearing about this phenomenon of fairy circle. It actually makes absolute sense. Actually, I think I've seen this kind of look, a circular formation of mushrooms in a wooded area in my own neighborhood. I love that they're calling this phenomenon a fairy circle with all its magical meanings. I mean, wow, what can I say about the glow that's happening off this manicure? My eye is mainly picking up that gray with a tinge of green, but also on this swatcher's ring finger and pinky finger, I am seeing quite a grayish aspect, that kind of beige, almost taupe look. I love that kind of colorway, these neutrals, but way better. This magnetic effect looks really quite potent and magical. Seeing it worn here on some of the swatcher's fingers, not all of the fingers here, but in that cat eye style where you can see that silver stripe across the nail. I'm really loving that green color that we're seeing in the background. It somehow looks fresh and not murky. You'd sort of think that a grayed green would have a murky look, and I guess in a way, maybe it does. But for me, it's got that interesting forest freshness as well. It actually reminds me in a way of sort of a green slate. It's a really pretty color. A color like this one, I would love to add to my collection. It is magical, and being a green lover, I know that I would adore it. The one thing I wonder a little bit though is how it might compare to another one that I already have in my collection. It does make me think a tiny bit of the Bee's Knees Lacquer Polish Bog Dweller, which was a really popular one offered by that brand a little while back. For whatever reason, I feel like that one had more of a bluish green effect, but I do know that it did have quite a finely milled magnetic pigment, which I think is making me think of it when I'm looking at this polish here. Of all things, I haven't worn Bog Dweller yet, so perhaps, today is Tuesday when I'm filming this. I have until Friday, which is when the shop opens, Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's when the shop opens. This one is a capped offering, so if I do want to add this one to my shopping cart, I will have to do that kind of quickly, but I think I really should try wearing Bog Dweller first to see how that one might compare. I would hate to dupe myself when I have a nail polish collection that's as big as it is, but I can't deny this one is jaw-droppingly beautiful. This dramatic gray-green magnetic is by Cleona Cosmetics, Fairy Circle. This next polish is by Cracked Polish Pleasant Pheasant. This one is simply inspired by purple pheasants, and there is an availability cap for this polish as well of only 750. Absolutely, the vibrant purple magenta color of this one caught my eye and had me clicking in deeper, but even more than that, it was the name of this polish, Pleasant Pheasant, that had me immediately add this polish to my wish list. There's quite a sentimental draw for this polish for me. When I was younger, it was a special Sunday when we got to go with our family to downtown Toronto, to the waterfront area right by Lake Ontario, to this incredible building that's still there today called the Queen's Quay Terminal. At the time when I was growing up, the Queen's Quay Terminal had some of the most magical, whimsical stores within its walls. I can remember when I was really young, I was fascinated by this balloon shop they had where they sold these gorgeous Mylar helium balloons. They had an incredible music box shop as well, which I know was a favorite of my mom's. But they also had this fascinating hat shop called the Pleasant Pheasant. So the moment that I saw that this polish was called the Pleasant Pheasant, I had to add this one to my wish list. After many years of just browsing through the hat shop, there was one time that my mom, my sister, and I all purchased kind of matching hats actually from the Pleasant Pheasant. I don't even really know how to describe the hat, really. I will not be able to do it justice, but it was a winter hat. It was made of like a woolen felt. It was somehow, the best I can describe it is like a cross between a tam but a bucket hat, because I had a brim that went all the way around. I don't really know what exactly you'd call that hat, but I know that I absolutely loved it. And I think I wore that hat all the way through until I finished high school. And then I don't know what happened to the hat after that. I guess really, considering how much I loved that hat, chances are I may have actually lost it in the end. But this polish, the name Pleasant Pheasant, reminding me of this hat shop, like I had to add this one to my wish list for all the memories that it brought back. This color though, I mean, I really own nothing like this one in my collection. Purples are quite a common color in indie nail polish. Purple seems to be one of the most universally popular colors. Really, I find purple, blue, and also pink to be some of the most popular colors, the safest colors in the indie nail polish world. But I really own nothing quite like this one. At this time, there isn't any further description provided, but it looks like this wonderful purple, blue, green, pink, and maybe even black mix of really interesting glitters happening in here. Like, this polish is really quite a work of art, and it brings back so many sentimental memories of this gorgeous shop that is no longer, but that brings back so many wonderful childhood memories, especially of those wonderful Sundays when I was young and we'd go to downtown Toronto and we'd walk around in the Queen's Quay terminal. The nostalgic feelings here are making me want to own this polish quite desperately. This wonderful nostalgic glitter polish is by Cracked Polish Pleasant Pheasant. This next magnetic polish is by Cuticula, and this one is called No Fox Given. In the description, it says, "This one is for the fellow fall lovers. This polish gives you all the fall shades you could ever want." No Fox Given is a magnetic that gives a bronze shimmer effect with green glass flakes. Once magnetized, the base becomes a deep brown with a super shifty gold, yellow, orange, green shifting magnetic line and the green glass flakes top. This one was inspired by a woodland fox. Looking down here, it does say there is no cap. Finally, what no cap means is that in this case, the maker Cuticula can create as many polishes as are needed to fulfill all orders this month. So wow, this is one of those polishes where, yes, I am a fall lover. So the moment I saw this, I had to click in, and it was pretty immediately added to my wish list. It's this golden effect too that is really getting me. This one seems to be so dramatic. I'm seeing so many different elements here that are making my heart so happy. First of all, that deep, deep brown. I love deep brown. I know that sometimes brown nail polish can be a little bit polarizing. A lot of people aren't a big fan of it. I love it. So the fact that this magnetic has such a rich fall brown happening in its base when magnetized, especially in the cat eye style with that stripe going across the nail, I'm loving that deep brown. I think it's so elegant. And then those flakes too. It looks like fallen leaves, and the brilliance of that stripe. I'm predominantly seeing like a yellow gold, also a bit of an orange to perhaps a bit of a red pink. This polish really is fall in a bottle and a very magical magnetic polish. I truly have nothing quite like this. I feel like from what I know about Cuticula through my own collection anyway, that Cuticula seems to be a little bit newer to the magnetic polish game. And wow, I have to say, they're doing it so well. I think especially with this polish right here. This one is mind-blowing. So not only am I loving this one, just purely for the polish's look, I think it is just phenomenal. But this one is called No Fox Given. This one is another sentimental pick for me. This summer for me in my neighborhood has been the summer of the fox. We seem to have quite a significant fox family or several that have moved into the neighborhood. There are a couple of construction sites, a couple of vacant houses right now in my neighborhood, and I have the feeling that fox families have just moved right in and joined the neighborhood. I haven't seen a fox now in almost a week, but for a while there, I was seeing young foxes every single day, often playing in my front lawn. In fact, there was one night about 2 weeks ago that I saw 3 foxes playing, wrestling on my front lawn when I came home a little bit later in the evening. It was getting dark outside, just really at dusk. It was pretty much night, just a tiny bit of sun still out, and there were 3 foxes just wrestling on my lawn. Anyway, this one, for all the reasons, I feel like foxes in my life right now just symbolize the summer of 2026 for how prevalent they are in my neighborhood right now. I have the feeling that's pretty healthy for our neighborhood, so I'm pretty excited about that. But I am also very excited about this polish and everything that it means to me and everything it appears to be looks-wise. I think this polish is really something special, and I would love to add this one to my collection. This dramatic magnetic polish is by Cuticula, No Fox Given. This next polish up is by Emily Damali, and this one is called Hidden Grove. This polish is inspired by an image of mushrooms in a woodland scene. This one is a green nail polish with pink, orange, gold, green shifting iridescent flakes and a subtle green to blue shifting magnetic effect. This polish, it says, is opaque in 2 to 3 coats depending on your application. Top coat, of course, is recommended for a glossy finish. And it also adds that this color comes with their new fan brush. So for some people, that actually might be quite a draw. There is a cap for this polish of only $650. As a green lover, when I saw this polish, this was another one that I had to add to my wish list. I'm loving the contrast here between that magnetic line that you're seeing, this yellowy green. It looks like sunlight, sun rays piercing through a forest. And then you've got the deep forest greens in the base. I'm also loving these flakes that we're seeing. Again, that fallen leaf look. It's really quite magical. Now, when I'm looking at this polish though, even though I'm a green lover, even though I'm a fall lover, I have to think about what it would be to add this polish to my collection. I think for me, the one that means a little bit more is actually the last one. The one by Cuticula this month, No Fox Given. I think for me, the fact that that is another green magnetic polish with flakies. I realize they are not dupes at all. They are quite different polishes, but just that one for me means just a little bit more, even though I think this one is gorgeous. This one is another one that's early fall in a bottle. To me, this one looks like September, October. This one also actually makes me think of summertime. It almost looks like flower petals in a garden. I'll have to think about this one because I do love green. I've been buying a lot of greens lately, I know. And I also have a wish list right now with 21 polishes in it. So this one, because I can identify one right now that means just that little bit more to me at this point, this one might unfortunately get cut. I don't think that takes anything away from this polish though. I wish I could really own them all. I think this one's a work of art. I love Emily Damali as well. I find that really, as far as brands, this brand is underrepresented in my collection. Our Canadian stockist for Emily Damali seems to have gone on kind of an indefinite hiatus, Gracie J & Co. And that's where I used to get some of my Emily Damali polishes. So it's really only through collaboration websites that I'm accessing these polishes. And this one is so beautiful. It's forest to a T. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I know I'd love it if I owned it, but I have to keep the budget in control. This one's going to be a tough one. It is beautiful though. This lovely green magnetic is by Emily Damali, Hidden Grove. This lovely warm colored polish is by Garden Path Lacquers, Slitzweiss, and I hope I said that correctly. Please feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm saying that wrong. The inspiration for this one is that it is inspired by David the Gnome and his fox, Swift. Slitzweiss is the gnomish word for goodbye or good night. The customary gnomish farewell can be heard at the end of almost every episode of this 80s cartoon classic. The description of this polish is that it's a warm brown base filled with red gold shifting aurora shimmer and red holographic micro glitter. There is no listed availability cap at this point, so that's a great thing for me. It means this maker can create as many polishes as are needed throughout the shop to fulfill all orders. Now, this was an interesting one for me. I added it pretty immediately to my wish list for a couple of different reasons. First of all, the brand, Garden Path Lacquers. I own several of their polishes. And there's something about the way this brand uses micro glitter. This one is described as having a red gold shifting aurora shimmer and red holographic micro glitter. There's something so magical about that component for Garden Path Lacquers. Almost invariably, whenever they offer a polish with this type of a formula, I add it to my wish list, and very often they find their way home to my collection. Now, I actually haven't seen too much about this polish yet. Before I film my wish list, I usually research the polishes quite a bit. It can sway me one way or the other. Just seeing the polish moving and seeing it applied, sometimes it can sway my opinion one way or the other before I even get to filming my wish list videos. This is a polish that I haven't seen talked about at all yet. And I was kind of surprised because I do know that there's quite a few, and you can see a lot of them represented here. There's quite a few swatchers that work regularly with Garden Path lacquers. So I'm going to still stay on the lookout for more swatches as well as swatch footage to see if I can see this polish come to life, especially in video. That will help me make my decision quite a bit. I mentioned that I'm a big green lover. I'm also a really big orange lover. Orange is another one of my favorite colors in life. It's a very close second to green in my life. There's something just a little bit more versatile about green in all aspects of my life than orange. Also, orange is sometimes not as available or not as popular as green is. So that's why it's just a very close second favorite color. I realize though, this one is described as having a brown base. I very much see a warm red or an orange here. So that's kind of interesting to me. In the description, this one is described as having a red gold shifting aurora shimmer and also red holographic micro glitter in this warm brown base. So, I mean, all of that adds to the warmth of this polish. And I mean, really, brown is kind of also the deepest, darkest of oranges. So anyway, for all these reasons, this polish is quite a mystery. It's quite an interesting one for me. I'm loving the look of it. I know I love this formula by Garden Path Lacquers. So we'll see. This one is very tempting for me. I love it. I think I do need to see it more in motion before I make any final decisions. Oh, the warmth and the sparkle though. I mean, this one is so beautiful. And I mean, I almost don't want to think about this one much harder, but I really do have to take the responsible way out and do my due diligence. This one is so tempting, but I need to know a little bit more about it before I can make any decisions. This magical warm polish is by Garden Path Lacquers, Slitzweiss. And now for something a little bit moodier. This one is by Haunted Polish and it's called Witchwood. Witchwood is a rich berry with twinkling emerald shimmer and a magical magnetic effect that shifts from lilac to silver and green to blue. I mean, this polish is so dark and moody, but I love that little bit of lightness that this magnetic effect provides. That lighter sort of lilac silver stripe through the nail polish, and then the addition of that really wonderful emerald shimmer I can really see quite visibly here in this swatch photo, both on the swatcher's nails and in the bottle shot. I can see that twinkling emerald shimmer. That's the perfect way to describe it. And that's exactly what the description says there too. Twinkling emerald shimmer. That's it. There's something so, I don't know, moody and mysterious about that contrast of a deep almost like a blackberry purple. Like it's really quite deep and lovely. And then paired with that little twinkle of emerald. It's kind of a bit of a Halloweeny, moody, but also really quite lovely contrast. I don't know. I'm really loving the overall look right here. And it's a good thing that I am loving that look right there because that is the only swatch photo that's on the website right now. So no wonder I'm loving this one. That's the only swatch photo that we have. I can't make a decision on a polish based on only one photo. So this is going to be another polish that I'll have to do some homework on, looking for additional swatch photos as well as swatch footage. I'll look through the Polish Pickup Facebook group, Haunted Polish's social media outlets on Instagram and Facebook. I'll have to do my due diligence, but this one is really dramatic. Another just totally tempting, whimsical magnetic polish. The number of gorgeous magnetic polishes that I've seen so far this month is really quite astounding. Makers are doing them so masterfully these days. They're all ones that I would be thrilled to add to my collection. This moody purple magnetic is by Haunted Polish, Witchwood. This next one, another fox-inspired polish. There's quite a few of them this month. This one is by Lumen, and this one is called Moon Fox. There has always been something quietly magical about foxes. Clever, curious, and often glimpsed only for a moment before they disappear back into the trees. They carry an almost mythical kind of beauty. Moonfox was created with that feeling in mind, that fleeting flash of color caught in moonlight before it vanishes. The description for this polish is: an inky indigo black base has shimmery shifts from red to gold, warm orange, and a touch of green at the most extreme angles. It's dark, mysterious, and constantly changing. This polish is also especially close to my heart because a portion of proceeds will be donated to Foxtails Rescue and Rehabilitation, an organization dedicated to rescuing, rehabilitating, and caring for foxes in need. It's a small way to celebrate and support these incredible animals. There is an availability cap for this polish of only 400. So I've already talked at length about how important foxes are in my neighborhood in general, but also to just what summer 2026 has been. The presence of foxes in the neighborhood has not been fleeting. They're really almost like our most loved neighbors. It's quite a treat, really, to see them in our neighborhood every day. The little ones are definitely growing a little bit older though, so I've been seeing them less often. I really hope they haven't moved on. I'm sure they're still in the neighborhood somewhere. I did see them less than a week ago. I'm just seeing them a lot less often than every day, multiple times a day, like I was back in June. Now this polish though, I mean, it's really quite breathtaking. I'm loving the way the maker has been able to capture the magic of that lovely reddish orange color that you see in red foxes in this nail lacquer. It is bang on for me. I'm kind of in love with this color and the way the maker has executed it. The shimmer is just so ethereal and magical. It's quite delicious, really, if it sounds like a strange way to describe shimmer, but that's how it feels to my heart. It feels like delicious shimmer. It's really rather ravishing. Here I'm finding I can really see those shifts being honored. The swatcher has really captured that beautifully. It's got that warmth of that fiery orangey red, but it almost goes off into this smoky burgundy kind of effect. I also see that shift to something a little bit yellowy green, almost lime on the swatcher's thumb. This one is really quite magical with all these shifts in this shimmer. I'm also finding it interesting here that there seems to be quite an element of sheerness. I'm really seeing that right now in the swatch photo on the bottom left. I'm not sure if my cursor is going to show up. I'm trying to showcase the bottom left swatch photo here, but I'm seeing that on the swatcher's free edge, you can see that free edge quite visibly. There is a visible nail line. It's quite a lovely look to me. I actually like a little bit of visible nail line. I think it adds a bit of a mystery to the look of a polish. I think it's quite a pretty look, but that is something to just be aware of. that there is an element of sheerness to this shimmer. Here's another swatch photo where you can see the wild shimmer, but also that sheer aspect to this polish. I actually find very much when I use a sheerer shimmer polish, maybe similar to this, that sometimes the shimmer has a way of obscuring the visible nail line a little bit. It's really hard to say without seeing it in person how this polish might perform in that respect, with the shimmer blurring a visible nail line, unless you really experiment for yourself. I'm not really sure in these swatch photos how many coats of the polish these swatchers have used. For me, I don't really think it matters though. No matter what way they've applied it, I'm really quite here for the look. I find it is magical. It does have that like fleeting aspect that the maker was discussing when they described the inspiration for this polish as being moon fox. I think this one is really quite artistic, the way they captured all those vibes in the bottle. This is another fox-inspired polish that I would love to add to my collection. Again, sort of defining the summer of 2026. This ethereal shimmer polish is by Lumen Moonfox. And now for something strikingly different. This polish is by Lurid Lacquer, and this one is called Autumn Approaches, inspired by fall foliage as it begins to change colors. Autumn Approaches features a sheer yellow jelly base with bright green light reflective glitter and iridescent flakies that shift from orange to gold to green. There is an availability cap for this one of only 400. There's quite a few makers that have quite small availability caps this month. So that's something I'll have to keep in mind when I'm making my final cuts and starting to load up my cart with an anticipation maybe to purchase. If I am shopping this month, I may have to plan ahead so I can be available to shop as soon as I can when the shop opens on August 7th at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, so that I don't miss out on some of these polishes with just very limited availability. It's this sunshiny yellow. The moment I saw it, I added it to my wish list. Sunshine on the nails this year has been one of my favorite looks. I've been wearing this type of look all seasons of the year, right back from the winter time when we had one of the longest winters on record. It snowed right up until the first week of May in my area in Ontario, Canada. So I was drawn to everything sunshine. Yellow clothing, yellow nails. Yellow on my nails was an instant pick-me-up. So uplifting, but oh wow, like the fact that this one is a yellow, it's kind of a chartreusey leaning yellow, I believe. I am seeing kind of a greenish aspect happening there. As well, I am seeing a little bit of warmth. I'm seeing a little bit of almost like a golden orange aspect there too in some of the sparkles and shifts. This one really does look like those vibrant yellow leaves when they're at their peak, like in October, early November. There's something magical about that type of yellow. The combination here too of the reflective glitter that has that undeniable sparkle and then the shifts happening in these iridescent flakies. I can only imagine how these iridescent flakes must appear and disappear, and the twinkles from the reflective glitter would appear and disappear. Just so fleeting and magical and twinkly in all the different ways. I think this one would come alive in natural light. As well, this brand, Lurid Lacquer, is a little bit tricky for me to get a hold of here in Canada. I have placed one single order directly to Lurid Lacquer through their website, and unfortunately the cost for it to come to me here in Ontario, Canada was quite hefty. It had to do with the shipping company being used. It had to do with also some extra fees in terms of customs, possibly tariffs at the time as well. Anyway, it was quite a surprise to have to pay quite a hefty fee when the box arrived. I'm kind of used to fees as a Canadian, but this was pretty hefty. It's of no fault to the maker at all. It's just the times we live in. It is quite difficult for me as a Canadian to shop directly through non-Canadian nail polish vendors. It's just a sign of the times. So whenever I see a gorgeous nail polish like this one offered through a collaboration website, it's for sure an add to wish list. Hopefully the budget will allow for this one to come home with me. I love the sunshine on the nail look, as I've said. I love reflective glitter as a component, and I love this maker, Lurid Lacquer. Every single polish of theirs that I own has a life all its own once it's applied to my nails and you wear it out in the wild. I don't know what kind of magic happens for some of these indie makers, but every single time, Lurid Lacquer has a way of exceeding every expectation. I would love to add a sunny yellow of theirs to my collection. This beautiful yellow with reflective glitter and iridescent flakes. This one is by Lurid Lacquer, Autumn Approaches. Shifting gears to another very different color for this theme. This one is by Moonshine Manny, Lady of Light. Lady of Light is an enchanting beet pink, glowing with teal blue indigo iridescent shimmer. This is a sister shade to our fan favorite Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It is inspired by Tolkien's Galadriel. There is an availability cap of only 600. There was immediately something about this pink when I saw it on the website where I added it to my wish list. This was such an unexpected color to see for this theme, Woodland Magic, but yet somehow it works beautifully. In a way, with a theme like this one, Woodland Magic, there are no rules. Woodland Magic can be however you take it, whatever your experience might be. So to see this lovely vibrant pink with this contrasting shimmer running through it, this teal blue indigo iridescent shimmer, this one kind of had my jaw on the floor. Now, unfortunately, I'm actually quite unfamiliar with Moonshine Manny's fan favorite Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure polish. I can only imagine that it must be something else to see. I rather love it when makers produce these sister or sibling or cousin polishes to some of their best-selling fan favorites. It lets you experience a base color or a shimmer or a component in a different way than maybe you experienced it in the original. So I feel very lucky to maybe have the chance to experience a little bit of that magic in my own nail polish collection if I do decide to pick this one up. The base and shimmer contrast is really something special. Polishes in this type of color, a brilliant pink, tend to be ones that I'm more drawn to in spring and summer. However, when you've got a contrasting shimmer in the way that only indie makers can manage using their phenomenal components, who knows, a polish like this one really could be for any type of season. Only by getting it out in the wild, actually on my nails, would I ever know for sure. This one is such a breath of fresh air, seeing a color this bright with the Woodland Magic theme. It's really kind of got a hold on me, and it's really purely for the color and the finish. It's beautiful. This brilliant pink with a contrasting shimmer is by Moonshine Manny, Lady of Light. This next polish up was added immediately to my wish list because this is my kind of color. This one is Night Owl Lacquer Sunlit Moss. This is a mossy green filled with gold glass flecks and gold holographic microglitter flake, inspired by the maker's favorite thing about winters in Southwest Washington, the moss-covered trees. So even though they are bare of leaves, they are still green and uniquely beautiful, especially when the sun shines through them. Luckily, again, there is no availability cap. This polish color, even before I had seen the name of this polish as Sunlit Moss, absolutely I would have guessed that this was a moss green color. I think that Night Owl Lacquer has captured this so artistically. This is Sunlit Moss in a bottle. You've got that lovely olive type color. It is a moss green. The only other word I can think of that could describe a murky green quite like this might be olive. And then those glints of gold, the sunlight. This one really is something else. I'd love to do some further research on the inspiration for this polish. It sounds absolutely unreal. The idea about winters in Southwest Washington with moss-covered trees, so there's no leaves, but you still have that green and the sun lighting the trees. I just can't even imagine what that must look like in person. It must just be totally magical. I don't think I have anything like that type of phenomenon here in Ontario, Canada. Although I could be wrong. It sounds magical, and I think this polish is magical. This is a polish that I think is executed exactly according to the inspiration. It reminds me of spring, summer, and fall. And it's so interesting, even though it's quite a murky green, I think there's quite a beauty and an elegance to this with the gold aspect, the gold glass flecks, and the gold holographic microglitter flake. I think this polish is really something special. This lovely mossy green with the gold flecks is by Night Owl Lacquer Sunlit Moss. This lovely purple is by Pie Colors Lucima, and I hope I've said that correctly. Please correct me if I'm wrong. This is a lavender purple nail polish with gold to blue color shifting shimmer, inspired by images of a magical forest full of purple flowers and golden fireflies for the polish pickup Woodland Magic theme. There is a cap for this polish of only 300. Now, in the last year or so, I have to say Pie Colors has become a brand to watch for me. I only have the smallest handful of their polishes in my collection, but every single one that I have is absolute magic in the bottle. I'm really intrigued by a lavender purple nail polish with this shimmer created by Pie Colors. Lavender polishes are actually where a lot of my love for nail polish began when I was quite young. Decades ago, the very first nail polish that I had multiple bottles of was a Revlon in this interesting, it was kind of an icy lavender purple, nothing like this one. It was a Revlon polish called Virtual Violet, and I think I owned 3 bottles of it because it was by far the one that I would wear again and again. So there is that interesting sentimental pull for me here with this lovely lavender shimmer. This one looks nothing truly like that older, icier Revlon Virtual Violet. In fact, that polish may have been almost more of a frost kind of polish rather than a shimmer. But I don't know, a colorway like this is almost a staple in my nail polish wardrobe. I wear this kind of color, even though some people might think of it more as a spring type color. I wear this type of color much like I would a neutral, almost really any season of the year. It's like a neutral, but just a little bit of something unexpected. The fact that this one is by Pie Colors as well, I would love to own this one. This is another brand that I wish was just a little bit easier for me to acquire in Ontario, Canada. I wish we had a stockist for Pie Colors. I would support them wildly. I realize I can't exactly tell what type of lighting effect we're seeing here, but the sparkle from this polish, we're seeing that warmth, almost a golden warmth, and then kind of an icy minty blue shift as well. This one is described as having a gold to blue color shifting shimmer, so we could very well be seeing all of that right here on this swatcher's nails. Really striking. This is also a polish that I'm finding for its lighter hue seems to have quite impressive opacity. It's got a wild shimmer, but it seems like that base color does a really good job of covering up any nail line. Most of the swatch photos that I'm looking at, I'm not really detecting any visible nail line at all. So that's pretty interesting. Great coverage from what I'm seeing. Oh, those shifts in this swatch series. I kind of love it how swatchers are able to capture these shifts in these kind of like time lapse or position lapse photos. This collage is, I think, showing a lot here. This is really something else. And again, we'll have to see how my wish list plays out, but I know that I would get regular, frequent use out of a polish in this color. It is a shimmer polish as well, which is one of my most worn polish finishes. I find them so easy to apply when I'm in need of a quick polish change. And then this one is just the most magical version of an easy to wear polish. It's beautiful. I really hope that I can get my hands on this one. This lovely lavender is by Pie Colors Lucima. Now we've got another gorgeous green. This one is by Polish for Days, Where the Fairies Dance. This one is described as having a sheer mossy green base with a mix of chartreuse, green, blue, iridescent shimmer, and matching multichrome microflake shimmer. The inspiration for this one? Woodland forests. Luckily, again, there is no availability cap. Unlike some of the other greens that we've been seeing, This one, the magic is just from being really a shimmer polish. There's an iridescent shimmer, there's also a multi-chrome microflake shimmer. So this one would be just easier to apply, a little bit less time consuming than a magnetic polish. So that's an interesting consideration for me when it comes time to making some decisions. As a green lover, this is a wild range of greens that we're seeing in this shimmer polish. I'm seeing everything from lime to avocado, and then I'm seeing everything ranging into like a forest green as well. This one is another magical shifty polish. I'm loving here too how you're getting a bit of a flash of fall colors. Like I'm finding I am seeing a little bit of an orange gold shift happening here as well. I kind of wonder if maybe that's part of the effect of the matching multi-chrome microflake shimmer. Multi-chrome often has that effect of being wide spectrum, lots of hues being represented. And I'm clearly seeing here, especially in the left swatch photos, I'm going to say, but really in all of them, I'm seeing like an orange to gold aspect to this polish as well. Ooh, and in some of these ones, that chartreuse glow that I'm seeing, I mean, I find a polish like this one utterly gorgeous. Some people, though, might call it a prugly. I mean, it does have, like, anytime you see some sort of like an acid green type effect, it can be polarizing in terms of whether people choose to like it or not. I love this kind of look, and the glow is just something else. Here in this collage, I think we're seeing a much deeper color range of the green, almost leaning a little bit more into a deeper blued green, which is quite something compared to the chartreuse we were seeing previously. That is intriguing to me. Another sheer mossy green base. These moss greens are absolutely calling to me. This is kind of my month, and it's dangerous. This wide-ranging, shifty green is by Polish for Days, Where the Fairies Dance. This one is so striking compared to a lot of the greens that we've been seeing. This one is by Rogue Lacquer, Fire Swamp. This polish was inspired by the forest in The Princess Bride. This is a teal crelly with fiery red copper to green chrome flakes. There is also a cap on this polish of only 500. This is making me want to watch the movie The Princess Bride again. It's one that I watched often, actually, when I lived at home. I can remember watching it repeatedly with my dad. That's actually one of his longtime favorite movies as well. But I haven't seen this one in maybe close to 2 decades. It's actually really shocking to me how long it's been since I've seen this movie. This color, though, like the teal crelly base, and then these shifting fall leaf flakes that we're seeing within this base. I mean, this is just such a vibrant and unexpected combination. I mean, in a way, maybe it should have been expected from me because it is Woodland Magic. But I don't know, there's something about this color combination that is unexpected to me. It's actually making me think of somehow fall leaves on tropical waters. Not really a look that you would ever expect to see. There's something magical about this color combination. It's also making me think of maybe lying down on the grass, looking up as a gust of wind comes along, and you're sky gazing, looking at the beautiful turquoise sky, and then seeing these brilliant fall leaves fall towards you. Like maybe it's that type of image that I'm thinking of as well. This color combination is so creative. It is wildly different than anything else that's being offered in this month's Polish Pickup Shop. And for all those reasons, I had to add this one to my wish list. It's so unexpected, but yet so gorgeous. This lovely teal crelly with these fall flakes is by Rogue Lacquer, Fire Swamp. I'm going to have to censor out the name of this one. Oh my goodness, Roy Lee has been difficult for me in the last few months. This one is by Roy Lee, and it's called I Hope a Banshee Screams Outside Your House, B. The description reads, we were inspired by a random meme found on Facebook. This is a deep maroon base with green to blue shifting shimmer. And there is a note saying, this may stain. Please wear a good base coat. Luckily, there is no availability cap for this polish. These shimmers, wow, like this one really does have the effect of being a rainbow on the nails. It's described as having a deep maroon base And then this green to blue shifting shimmer. I mean, really, on the swatcher's nails, I'm seeing maroon, I'm seeing green, blue, purple. I might even be seeing a little bit of gold as well. Like it really does have this effect of being like a fall rainbow on the nails. This is another one that I think is completely unique to anything else I've added to my wish list. That is what I would call a decadent maroon base. It is elegant. It's lovely. It's deep. And it's kind of interesting that this one is also saying that this one could be a stainer as well. So I'm guessing that it would have lovely pigmentation. I'm kind of lucky that I haven't had a whole lot of experience with stained nails, but having a warning like this one, I would make a note in my Lacquergram app where I keep track of polishes that I own. I would make a note in there saying to double up on my base coat. I do try to keep track of that kind of thing if there is a polish that does create some staining, just so you can save yourself a little bit of extra TLC later on, preventing the staining before it happens. Truly, I mean, I'm seeing gold, chartreuse, green, turquoise, blue, purple, and then that maroon base. I mean, honestly, maybe the only color I'm missing is like an orange, but with a maroon base, who knows? I might be seeing a little bit of that as well. This truly is a fall rainbow on the nails with a lovely shimmer finish, meaning this one would be a really easy polish for my lifestyle. Easy to apply, easy to remove. Wow, what a haunting look for this polish, wearing it mattified. Now, to me, I think that is probably a look that I wouldn't go after. I generally always am on team glossy. I love the look of shiny, glossy nails. But I've got to say, that shimmer is so strong that when matte top coat is applied, you still get that interesting color shift happening. I mean, that is a potent shimmer. I would love to see this one in real life with a shimmer that strong. I bet it would be just unbelievable. What a look. I mean, it's just purely gorgeous. It's really just the color and the finish for me for this one. This polish is not bringing me any emotional pull other than the fact that I'm loving the way this deep, dark, near rainbow for the nails is looking. I think this one is a standout. This bold shimmer polish is by Royla Lee. I hope a banshee screams outside your house, B. This vibrant magnetic is by Sassy Sauce Polish. This seems like a trap. This is a deep forest green scattered with emerald blue ghost flakes. The magnetic pull creates a luminous path of blue light through the forest base, like a hidden portal awakening between ancient trees. Every movement reveals a new effect. Flashes of teal, emerald, and electric blue dancing beneath the surface. And there is an availability cap of only 500 for this polish. It is the vibrance of this polish that had me added immediately to my wish list. It isn't described as so anywhere, but I have been looking through tons of swatch photos, and this one has been swatched by almost every swatcher out there, it seems. How bright this polish is, in some cases, it almost seems like an electric blue, like near neon type look for this magnetic polish. It's something very unexpected and truly unlike anything else I have in my collection. For its unique factor, that's what has me adding it to my wish list. This polish looks so summery to me. It's that brilliant teal turquoise color. I mean, it really does have almost a neon brilliance to it. I'm also loving the addition of these flakes. That's kind of interesting too. Emerald blue ghost flakes. I really love how ghost flakes, like they really do seem to disappear and appear when you least expect them to, just as they shift in the light. They're a lovely component in polish, and considering the colorway of this one, I think they would really create some magic on the nails. And the overall look of this one, I mean, I'm thinking that what I'm seeing here on this swatcher's middle finger is probably the velvet effect. It looks like a glowing turquoise sea. But then when you see this treated in the cat eye style on the swatcher's index finger, where you can see that clear stripe running across the nail, like the golden, orange, green aspects that you're seeing in that base. Wow. I mean, I really have seen nothing like this. Now, the one thing that has me hesitating a little bit, I mean, the unique factor is for sure. I don't own anything like this at all in my collection. And right there, I would kind of love to own it. It seems like quite a special gem of a polish. I do kind of wonder, though, first of all, how versatile it would be in my collection. I do view this as mainly a summer polish. Also, it's a little bit more time consuming to apply. Being a magnetic, there's been a lot of magnetics that have been appealing to me. I just worry that this one may not have the same versatility for me in my collection, even though it is a standout in terms of its uniqueness. Also, this tends not to sway me too much, but I do kind of wonder how truly flattering this one might be on me. I can't really be sure. But oh wow, the color play that's happening throughout this polish. I've never seen anything like it. And that glow and the shift and the brilliance of it, it truly is undeniable. I'm going to have to mull this one over a little bit and think of how often I'm going to really wear it, how flattering it might be. It is totally unique, and as a collector, it would be quite a gem to own. But if I'm not going to love it on me, is it really worth it? Probably not. So I'll have to do some soul searching with this one. There is no collection diving that I'm going to have to do for this polish. It is absolutely unique. I've never seen anything like this one. Kudos to Sassy Sauce Polish for producing something unlike anything I've ever seen before. This unique magnetic is by Sassy Sauce Polish. This seems like a trap. After so many vibrant polishes, this one is such a soft, neutral looking polish. This one is by Stella Chroma, Megaloceros. And I hope I said that correctly. Megaloceros is the extinct giant Irish elk. In the Lord of the Rings universe, Megaloceros was the chosen steed of Legolas's father, King Thranduil. And I'm sorry if I said that wrong. I haven't read the entire Lord of the Rings series yet or seen the movies in quite a while. It's been a long time, so sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. Megaloceros has a sandy beige base that is highlighted by yellow, green, blue shifting multichrome flakies. This one would be opaque in 2 coats. I love indie polish makers. This one is a neutral polish that is just so much better than anything you could get in a local drugstore. I look at a polish like this one and I can see myself wearing this any season of the year, perhaps for any kind of an occasion. It is a neutral, but way, way, way better. This base color is described as being a sandy beige. I love base colors like this. When you have a crelly type of polish, I actually find sometimes that a white glitter crelly or a white flaky crelly can sometimes be a little bit harsh to wear. The fact that this one is such a soft, neutral color, I think it instantly makes it 100 times more wearable than a white crelly, for my purposes anyway. It is neutral, but it's fresh and interesting. Much like how I said sunshine for the nails is one of my favorite looks for 2026. I've been wearing sunny nails all throughout the year. I've also been drawn, for kind of an opposite reason, to sand colored polishes. There's something just so, I don't know, relaxing, transporting me away on vacation, wearing a sandy type color on the nails. For me, yes, it's neutral, it's safe, it goes with everything, but there's something about that type of a sandy color that just calms me right down. It's like having a vacation on my nails. At a time when in my life I am staycationing. I'm a teacher on summer vacation who is staying close to home this summer for a wide variety of reasons. When I look at this polish, it's neutral, it's safe, but I look at it and like a vacation in my mind, it transports me to pretty much anywhere my mind could imagine. I love the way this polish looks. I'm incredibly drawn to the way this polish looks. I love the way I can see it fitting into pretty much every aspect of my life, and I really especially adore the way it's making me feel right now. For me, it's a breath of whimsical fresh air. There's actually something kind of physiological, calming that it's bringing to me. This lovely neutral is by Stella Chroma, Megaloceros. This is a very different take than the last one on a flaky polish. This one is by Sweet and Sour Lacquer, and this polish is called Go Touch Moss. This polish has an olive green jelly base with a purple red shimmer and green iridescent flakes. The shimmer looks purple straight on and red under bright light or at an angle. This polish is best worn in 2 to 3 coats, and there is a cap of only 250 of these polishes being made available. I can tell you right now that number 250 is worrying me a little bit. I really like this polish, and I will very much have to consider making my purchase right when the shop opens on August the 7th, if this one ends up making its way into my shopping cart. I find that this polish is such an interesting contrast to the last polish we just saw. Fundamentally, both polishes have some sort of green flaky aspect to them, but wow, they have such wildly different overall effects. The base color for this one, this is described as being an olive green jelly base. Honestly, my eye is picking up like a fall maroon base. I actually couldn't even really believe it when I was reading that it had an olive green jelly base, but I guess you can see that in the bottle shot, also a little bit in some aspects on this swatcher's nails. Truly, that shimmer aspect looks like it has such amazing play within this base color. Here I'm clearly seeing a lot more of that purple effect caused by, I guess, that shimmer. That is a vibrant shimmer. Maybe really just along the swatcher's free edge, perhaps just around this swatcher's cuticle line. Maybe I'm seeing a bit of that olive base. I can only imagine that this polish must be something else in real life. Wow, in this macro shot, you can just see how wild that shimmer is. And I think you can really see the variation that you're getting within that base. All this different light play I'm finding is creating magic in this macro shot. This really seems to be a chameleon of a polish that will play in all lighting, affecting the flakies, affecting the base color, and then the extent to which you're seeing that shifting shimmer. This is another polish where I know I have nothing like it at all in my collection. This flaky polish with the fascinating shifting shimmer base. This one is by Sweet and Sour Lacquer, Go Touch Moss. This final fascinating polish is by Zombie Claw, and it's called Dearly Departed. Woodland zombies and a green base with purple reflective glitters and red, orange, yellow flakies are what we have here. And there is a cap of only 300 of these being made available. Unlike some of the other flaky polishes that we've seen, it's the icy factor to this one that's really caught my eye. This one's making me think of November and December days where you're still getting some fallen leaves and remnants of the leaves still on the ground. But in my part of the world, you're getting frost, you're getting some ice, and very often we're getting snow as well. You're getting that snow and ice mixing with the fallen leaves. For me, it's not woodland zombies that I'm seeing at all. I know that zombies tend to be a theme for Zombie Claw polish, which I think is so much fun, but I'm seeing that November-December effect of frozen leaves. And I think even though it probably wasn't intentional at all, I think this maker has pulled this look off really beautifully. Oh, the glow from those flakes is just so inviting and warm. And then you've got that kind of icy base color. It's described as having a green base. Go figure, another green base. It's funny, my eye's seeing more like a slate blue. It's kind of an icy slate blue from what I'm seeing, but I'll trust the maker when they say it's a green base. But then you've got these reflective glitters as well. And I am seeing a little bit of indication of those reflective glitters running throughout this polish. Purple reflective glitters. The way this polish would sparkle and shift would absolutely change in any kind of lighting. This is another one that is rather unique in my collection. Here you can see the effect of the reflective glitters under flash photography. You can really see that purple aspect is standing out here. Now, this isn't really quite the look that you'd get out in the wild in real life, but the effect of the purple reflective glitters in there is kind of undeniable. That is a really interesting and unexpected element happening in this polish. Those fallen leaf flakes, they also look like burning embers on a cold, icy day. It's this play and contrast here that's really appealing to me. Again, I own nothing like this polish. It is quite a work of art, although what I'm bringing to the polish in terms of what I'm seeing is really quite different, I think, than what the maker intended. But great art kind of does that to you, doesn't it? And for me, I do view indie nail polish as wearable art for the nails. This unexpectedly sparkly and icy looking polish is by Zombie Claw, Dearly Departed. So that's it for the 21 items that have caught my eye this month. It is such an interesting month. So many polishes are grabbing my attention, and in so many ways, these early fall colorways are just speaking to me. There's some of my favorite types of colorways. It is not really that surprising to me that there are so many polishes, 21 that I currently have catching my eye sitting right now in my preliminary wish list. Now, just because they're here in my preliminary wish list does not mean that I'm purchasing them all. These are all polishes that I'm sitting with for a few days. I'm going to do my research. Sometimes I just want to appreciate them. I want to appreciate the artistry. And by keeping them in my wish list and gradually whittling it down, eventually we'll see if I am going to be making a purchase this month. I'm really loving how we're seeing such a wide range of different colorways, of inspirations, and effects. There are a few things that are sticking with me though in terms of trends this month. First of all, we are seeing a whole lot of magnetics. That has definitely been one of the biggest nail polish trends of the last year or so. We're seeing so many magnetics and so many creative magnetics as well. The Sassy Sauce polish here with how vibrant it is. This Haunted polish, it's such a deep, moody purple, and it's got that flash of emerald green with the shimmer happening. We've got all of the variation happening in the greens with the Emily Damali and with the flakies, and additionally another flaky magnetic with the cuticula. And then we have this interesting molten metallic look that we're getting from the Cleona Cosmetics, and this magic that we're getting that reminds me of shifting skies and also water, even though that's not really what the inspiration was from Alchemy Lacquers. There are some really interesting magnetic polishes in this month's polish pickup, and I think any of them that you choose, you'll be getting such original and beautiful results. Also, in my life, I'm not really one to call them pruglies, I just call them beautiful, but there are some unconventionally beautiful polishes this month. This Broken Pixel polish has this interesting murky fall color range. Again, the Emily Damali, the cuticula, unexpected color combination, some acid greens, some golden hues. A chartreuse that's a really wildly bright yellow chartreuse, and then that moss green for Night Owl Lacquer. A couple of other prugly leaning polishes with Polish for Days and Royla Lee, as well as that sweet and sour lacquer. That one is so interesting, and this one's a bright prugly, the Sassy Sauce polish. Aspects of that are still pulling neon to my eye, at least through these still swatch photos. So many flakies that we're seeing to mimic the leaves. There are so many wonderful trends. But I have to say, the polish I keep coming back to that is stuck in my head now, it has been stuck in my mind for about a week, is Cuticula's No Fox Given. There's something about that dramatic magnetic effect, how much those flakes really stand out in the dark base when the polish is treated in the cat eye style. And it's also the fact that this one is inspired by the fox as well, which has become kind of a symbol, a mascot almost, for my summer 2026. I think all my neighbors would agree that summer 2026 is the year of the fox here in the neighborhood, and I would love to get a polish like this one. It's a standout visually, even without the fox reference, but there is something about it that I think would always remind me of how magical this summer has been. So that's it for my lengthy list of 21 polishes that have caught my eye. I am not purchasing 21 polishes. There is no way the budget would allow for that. In fact, I have to even contemplate whether I should purchase at all this month. I think I would love to, though, because this month really is speaking to me. This type of fall woodland aesthetic, the types of polishes that we're seeing, the magic, the originality, they really are speaking to me. So I'll have to think critically about what I've been seeing and which ones truly are standouts before I make any choices. The shop is open this month, August 7th, starting at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and it remains open until the end of the day on Monday, August 10th. This is a pre-order shop, so once you place your orders, items are shipped out to you 3 to 4 weeks after the shop closes. So those are the polishes that have captured my imagination this month. Whether they ultimately find their way into my collection or if they simply remain beautiful discoveries, works of art created by indie makers, I always enjoy taking the time to appreciate the creativity and artistry behind collaboration websites like Polish Pickup. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which polishes stood out to you? Are there any hidden gems that I should take another look at before the shop opens? Please feel free to add all your thoughts in the comments. We can continue on the conversation long after. Thank you so much for spending part of your day exploring with me. If you enjoyed this month's Polish Pickup catalog for August 2026 Woodland Magic theme, I'd love to have you back for future discoveries here on Lacquerography. Please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Until next time, enjoy discovering new inspirations and rediscovering your nail polish collection.